Thinking about
Yeah.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, one of the products that your financial advisor might talk to you about is a whole life policy with a long-term care rider. So it's sort of a hybrid, right? And so
Attorney Nikki Applefield Engel meets with an associate to discuss life insurance.
So if I cash it in, how much do I get back
so
from all the money I put in
a
it?
lot of times nothing. If you drop that, yeah, that's the kicker.
Nikki is a certified elder law attorney with the Johnston Allison Horde Group in Charlotte.
It's a wonderful area of law to be in, and honestly, there are not enough of us around. I wish that our law schools were focused a little bit more on elder law, because we certainly have a huge need for that.
What's considered elder law runs the gamut as far as the various areas of law it deals with,
which can include, healthcare planning, estate planning, asset protection, guardianship, probate, trust administration.
So what would you have to look at? My policy?
So you'd have to look at your policy, what are the benefits, and also, look at your income, look at the costs of care, the average increases, and basically kind of make a call as to whether continuing to pay those premiums makes sense, or are you just going to cover what's out of pocket from your income.
Nikki's job is to help clients navigate the legal system, putting them in position to seek out benefits, discussing options, and advising clients on retirement planning.
For older adults who are kind of facing the golden years, I think you have to, at the very least, have to have a foundational estate plan, which will include, of course, a will. Financial power of attorney is very crucial. Healthcare advance directives, of course, are very important.
The biggest challenge facing retirees isn't necessarily having enough money for the retirement itself, but instead for potential long-term care.
That's really what we help to plan for is how do we protect assets so that if a long-term care event arises, we are not having to deplete every last dime to pay for care, and we're able to leave a legacy for our family.
Good job. Get up. Come on, tuck your bottom under. There you go.
The average cost of assisted living is now $10,000 a month, with most people in care for an average of 3 to 5 years.
Honestly, I never hear anyone say, I want to be in a nursing home, right? Everybody says, I want to age at home and I want to have care at home. And of course, that's a wonderful goal to have. But, understanding what that cost is very important too, because that can be even more than, facility care, right? I've seen $20,000 a month for home care, depending on if you need 24/7 care.
Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Another thing to consider and plan for, if needed, are things like dementia and Alzheimer's.
When we talk about estate planning, most people focus on, death and planning for when you pass. But just as important, or not maybe even more so, is planning for incapacity. And when we plan for incapacity, we're thinking about, powers of attorney, financial and health care.
And it's not just attorneys working in this space. Jennifer Sockeye is a National Certified Care Manager and Master Guardian. She's the founder and CEO of Caregiving Corner.
I started Caregiving Corner in 2005, and I started it really because I saw the need for additional advocates in the community to work with families and help them understand the long-term care system and help them really understand everything related to caregiving.
And that can mean everything from connecting people to healthcare services they need, setting up doctor's appointments, medication management, and communication with other family members.
Our primary role is to be an advocate for the older adult and help them live as independently as possible for as long as possible.
With more and more retirees not having children in the area or having children at all, advocates like Caregiving Corner help fill in those gaps.
So most of the time we are contacted by the adult children of the person who is aging. Increasingly, we're seeing that those individuals do not live in the same city as their aging parents. Increasingly, older adults are entering into aging single, maybe never married, child-free, so they don't have the typical family structure that you had a generation ago intact to depend on.
And that's yet another reason why it's critically important to have plans in place, keep them updated, and make sure others know where to access them.
Even something as simple as where the passwords are or the combination to a safety deposit box. So any number of different things that could cause a hiccup down the road after that person is gone, or after they're no longer able to give you that information. Any of those kinds of things that you can get out of the way ahead of time is really, really critical. The people that wait and kind of bury their head in the sand and they assume that they're never going to need care, they're never going to have to move out of their house, those are the people, unfortunately, that leave families really wondering whether or not they're doing the right thing, whether or not they're doing what their parents would have wanted them to do. And those families are in crisis and they really don't have as many options as someone who has planned ahead.
In addition to legal documents like wills, trusts, and powers of attorney, is documentation of personal assets.
The old adage, one man's trash is another man's treasure, really rings true in this industry.
Kate Morley is an accredited member of the International Society of Appraisers and the managing director with Arcadia Art Consultants. She works with wealth managers, estate planning attorneys, and families in assessing personal property and collections.
One of the things that we offer to clients, and we really recommend for clients, whether they're working with us or with someone else, is to make sure that they are seeking unbiased support. So making sure that the person who's giving the opinion isn't someone who's going to be directly benefiting from the opinion that they're providing.
Just like with finances and healthcare planning, record keeping and documentation are paramount when it comes to personal property and collections.
And sometimes that one document, that one sheet of paper, that receipt can mean the difference between something being determined to be authentic or potentially a fake or a forgery. But just as importantly, you really need to have conversations with the people you're gifting property to. Every generation collects different types of material, has different interior design tastes, preferences, and oftentimes a lot of the people that you might be wanting to give something to have a home that's fully decorated and they might not have space for these pieces. And so having those frank conversations is something we really, really emphasize with our clients to make sure that they find the right homes and they are valued the way that you want them to be valued.
Thanks for watching, and if you don't want to miss any more great regional stories, please subscribe to our PBS Charlotte YouTube channel.